Hello everyone. In today's video, I am going to be teaching you how to do the one-handed Charlier cut. Now in my last video, I said I was going to teach you how to do the cut in this video. Technically, I was supposed to teach this in the last video, but I wanted to teach this when I actually was able to find a card trick using the Charlier cut. So that's what we're going to be learning in today's video, how to do the Charlier cut. We're going to be learning the trick you can use the Charlier cut with, and I'm going to be showing you a variation of the trick I came up with. So without further ado, let's get into the Charlier cut. So this is actually a really nice one-handed cut. You can use this in flourishes. You can use this in different tricks if you want to get rid of a stack or the top card, or if you do a switch and you want to make the top card look different, you can do that as well. And overall, this is just a really nice move. I think every beginner magician out there, if you don't know this move, you should learn this. And every advanced magician should know this as well. And I actually have a video or two on this cut, but the camera quality and lighting was pretty bad. So I thought I would actually remake this video and show you this trick, because I don't think I showed you it in those other two videos. So without further ado, let's get into the Charlier cut, or the one-handed cut. The cut looks something like that. So you're going to cut half of the deck from the top to the bottom. And that is all the cut is. Real simple. So let's get into how to do this cut. So what you're going to do this cut is you're going to hold the deck like this. Now there's a few ways you can do this. I'm going to show you how I do this, and then I'll show you one other way. But this is all you're going to do. You're going to have your index finger, so in the front of the deck here, your pinky in the back, your middle and ring finger on the side, and your thumb on the other side. Now, because of your middle and ring finger, when you take your thumb, you're going to contact about half of the deck. You're going to push over, so you're going to contact these two fingers and up. And when you do that, you're going to be able to lift half the deck, or however many cards you need, okay? So you're going to hold it like this. And if you want to, if your middle and ring finger is already over top of the deck, you can just lift up, but you're going to want about half. Now your index finger here is going to come over to the bottom. Doesn't really matter where, but I like to have it where the top left pip is, or the endancy. And you're just going to push up this packet. Now when you do this, you're going to notice your thumb's going to move out of the way, and this top packet right here is going to fall to the bottom, therefore making it the bottom packet. You're going to see how it fell on top of my finger. So I'm going to move my finger away. The top packet is now going to line on the bottom, and then you're going to use your thumb and just move it down to close this bottom packet, which is now the top packet, just like that. And that's all the cut really is. It's not too complicated, actually. It's real simple. So once again, you're going to have it like this. You're going to lift up about half. Your index finger is going to come under, and you're going to lift it up. You're going to want to trust your thumb, because usually we'll keep our thumbs there if we feel like this top packet's going to fall. You want to trust the top packet that it's not going to fall. You're going to push it up, and it's going to form like a teepee sort of shape, or a triangle. So you're going to use your index finger right here, continue pushing up. That top packet will move to the bottom, okay? And then my index finger is just going to just extend out of the way. The packet's going to fall flat. And now you can move your pinky next to your other three fingers or leave it at the bottom. But you can use your thumb and close it just like this. And all I do with my pinky there is I just move it out of the way. And the packet is going to move out of the way too, the packet is going to move out of the way also to position itself to where it needs to be. You can see right there. So I just move my pinky out of the way, and then right there I complete the cut. So that is the Charlier cut. Not much to it. Now I'm going to show you one more way you can actually do this, because some people might not like the lifting up of the packet. So something people do is you're going to have it in a high grip like this, okay? So your first knuckles of each of your 4 fingers are going to contact the deck. So your thumb, your pinky, your middle, your ring, and your index. All you're going to do is take your index finger, you're going to come over to the side. And this is going to be the beginning of the one-handed shuffle. I actually have a video on the one-handed shuffle, but it's really bad quality, so I might update that video as well. But this is all you're going to do. You're going to take your index finger, contact about half, and letting go of some of the pressure, you're going to be able to pull half of the packet down. Now when you do this, okay, you're going to notice it's going to fall. Okay, so let go of some of the pressure, but not too much. You're going to notice now you're right here. So I contact about half, I let it drop, and right there. So now I can do the cut just like that. That might seem a little confusing, so here it is one more time. I can actually break half of the deck like this, so then it'll fall down. Or another thing you can do is come to the top, and you can break about half, and you'll notice it's going to fall down. And then you can do the same cut, and that is going to be the one-handed cut. So, that was the one-handed cut. I hope you really enjoyed that part of the video. Now, this part of the video is going to be going over the trick I'm going to teach you with the one-handed cut. And at the end of the video, I will go over the one-handed cut really quick one more time, just for some of those people that didn't get it the first time or need a re-clarification, if that's even a word. If you need to clarify some other things or whatever the reason is. But here's what the trick is going to be. So you can hand the deck over to the spectator, and they can give it a shuffle. After they're done, they're going to choose a card, and you're not going to look at the card. So let's say this is the card. So go ahead and remember that for me. So now I'll take back the card and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to shuffle your card somewhere into the deck and hopefully lose it. So now all you have to do is just say yes or no. Is this your card? I'm going to assume the spectator will say no. How about this? Is this one your card? No? Okay. So now all I want you to do is on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, think of your card, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Think of your card. Is your card the 9 of hearts? I hope that was your card. And if you would like to learn how to do this trick, make sure to stick around for the tutorial. Okay, so here's how you're going to do this trick. I'm going to show you 2 ways of how to do this, and then I'm going to teach you the variation. So, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have a card selected and controlled to the bottom, okay? Now, you can do that in any method you would like. If you would like to know the method I used, I'm going to teach that right now. But keep in mind, I'm going to leave a video down below of some card controls I actually made in my last video, my top 5 card controls, because the control I actually used was number 1 in that video. It was a variation of the overhand control called the milk shuffle or the retention shuffle. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to have a card selected. Now if you want, you can have it signed, but doesn't matter. In this case, the 7 of clubs. I placed it on top of the deck. I'm going to leave it face up for tutorial sake, and you're going to shuffle it to the bottom, so it's going to end up second from the bottom. This is in case you have hecklers in the crowd. You can confirm the top card and the bottom card isn't theirs. So here's how it's done. You're going to have the 7 on top, and you're going to do the overhand shuffle. Now I have a review on the overhand shuffle already, so I'm going to leave that video down below, and I'm going to leave my top 5 control video down below as well, in case you want to check that out. So, okay, perfect. So I'm not going to go over the shuffle in depth in this video, but here's basically what you're going to do. You're going to start off with the card on top, and you're going to switch over to overhand grip. So on the top of the deck, you're going to have your middle, ring, and pinky finger. On the left corner, you're going to have your index finger, and on the bottom of the deck, you're going to have your thumb. You're going to come over with your other hand, and you're going to apply pressure to the top and bottom card. And when you apply pressure, you're going to take this deck hand that was holding the deck right here, and you're going to strip out all the cards. And you might actually catch on now that when you start shuffling, this is going to place their card second from the bottom. And then if you had a good eye, you might have caught that I did something else, which I will show you. So once again, we're like this. We peel off both cards, and now you can start peeling one by one with your thumb, or you can go in little blocks. It doesn't matter. You just want to get that card second from the bottom. And then something I did was shuffling cards from the top, but not from the bottom. So still in the same overhand grip, I can shuffle cards, about half of them from the top. And then I'll take this hand that all the cards are shuffled into. My fingers are going to push the cards towards me, and then this bottom half is going to go on the bottom, just like that. And that's going to place the card second from the bottom and keep it there. So here's what it might look like in real time. Okay, so we're going to shuffle the top and bottom, and then we can shuffle these. And then you're going to shuffle about half, push these forward, and throw the rest right there at the bottom. And you have your card second still from the bottom. So now something you can do is actually have them confirm if their card is on the top or the bottom. Okay, so is this your card? No. So you're going to lose it in the middle. Now, when you get to the bottom card, you know their card is second, so you don't want to flash that card. So I hold the deck like this, middle ring pinky on top, thumb on the back, my index curl on top. Gonna turn over the deck and show them, is this their card? No. Gonna then turn over the deck and take the bottom card. And obviously this card is gonna be face down, their selection, so it's not gonna flash, so you don't have to worry about that. So this your card? No. Turn the deck over and slide it out. You're then going to place their card somewhere in the middle. Something you don't want to do is this. Is this your card? No. Okay. Because then they're going to see their card right here. So make sure you do it like this. Is this your card? No. Turn the deck over, peel out the king, and put it somewhere into the middle. And now, just like that, their card is on the bottom. Make sure you don't drop it and flash the card either, but it will be face down, so you can just put the rest of the deck on top and not worry. So now you're ready for the one-handed cut. If you want to, okay, I didn't do this, but if you want to, you could do some extra cuts and shuffles, just keeping the card on the bottom. But now here's what you're gonna do to produce their card. You're gonna do the one-handed cut, okay? So you're gonna start, and now when you have formed this TP and you drop the bottom half, you're gonna put your 3 fingers, middle ring and pinky, right inside of the deck here, and now you're gonna close the deck and have your thumb on top. This way, your 3 fingers here can actually slide the card out, okay? And then you're just gonna push it up. It's gonna be a little hard at first, especially depending on the condition of your deck. This is a newer deck, so it's gonna be a little hard for me, but I'm gonna try to give you a few tips along the way. The first thing is you're gonna want to keep your pinky on the bottom the entire time. This is gonna be good so cards don't fall out at the bottom, okay? And you're gonna want your thumb clamped on top. Now when the card is peeled out about halfway, this is when I use my pinky to push in the rest of the cards, and because of that, I'm going to be able to lever the card up like this and grab it with my thumb, and then I can show the 7. Okay, so let me do that face down. So just like this. Okay, so maybe I would come over here, and notice how I push it up a little, and then I grab it, and now you can show the 7 is just like that. So it might be a little confusing, but I'm going to leave the original source down below as to where I learned this trick from. So I'm going to go over this one more time, and then show you the variation I came up with. So let's do this one more time. Oh, let me also teach you the original way to do this real quick. I forgot about that. And then I'll do everything else. So for this one, you're just going to have a card selected, 2 of spades. Now this is real easy. You're just going to have the card on top, and this time when you do an overhand shuffle, you're going to peel just 1 card off, and then shuffle. And now you're going to go straight into the move, okay? So you're going to have it in this cut, going to lift up about half, push it up. Now right when this packet here is about to lay flat, you're going to put your fingers in, and now you're going to close it, okay? And then you're going to peel it out with your middle and ring finger. You can have your pinky on the bottom. And now, once it's about halfway out, I come back with my pinky, square up those cards, and my 2 fingers will be able to push the card down, and I can grab it with my thumb. And that will move it to the top. So, let me go over this in real time. So, let's say we have a card selected, the 2 of spades. I'm going to do it how I just taught you. So we can lose this somewhere into the middle. And now all you have to do is think of your card. And if you think of it good enough, I can show you that 1 card I can get right to the top, and that is the 2 of spades. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. And one more thing for the cut is you want to watch your angles, because you don't want to flash the bottom card here. So we come over like this. I usually turn my body or my wrists and hand, because you don't want to flash this. Because if they see this, and then they might catch on to all of this. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. But that was the trick. Here is the way I came up. I'm still playing around with this, but you can let me know if this actually looks good to you. So what you're going to need for this variation is a duplicate card. Now in this case, I have the Queen of Hearts. And this deck, the Sea Green Keepers deck by Illusionist, actually comes with the Queen of Hearts. And I made a whole review on this deck as well. I'm going to leave that down below. And I actually made a few videos showing off cards I have that come with duplicate cards. So I'm going to leave that down below as well, in case you want to watch that. But here's what you're going to do. You're going to take one of your duplicates, and you're going to place it on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to put this one face up. And this other duplicate, you're gonna want to place somewhere in the deck where you can force it, but you don't disturb the duplicate on the bottom. And keep in mind, this would be face down as well. So the whole sequence you're gonna do is force the Queen of Hearts. You're gonna then be able to move it to the bottom to palm it out, but keep your other duplicate on the bottom as well, but not flash it. So you don't have to move it to the bottom if you have a different way of palming out the queen. But this is what I would do. So I would start off with the duplicate on the bottom. And I'm going to do the call spread force. And I have a whole video on the call. So I will leave that down below for you. But I might have this about 5 cards in, 4 or 5, and now we're all set. So you're going to have your deck, you're going to have your one duplicate on the bottom, then your other duplicate somewhere in the deck that you can force, move it to the bottom, cop out the card, and all while keeping this duplicate on the bottom and not flashing it. So that's what we're going to do. So if you want to, you can start off with some false cuts and false shuffles. I will leave a false cut video I made down below if you would like to see that. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the call. Real quick, I'll go over this, but not too in depth. Going to push over the top 3 to 4 cards. When you come to the 5th, you're going to take the 4th card, and you're going to use your thumb to line it up with the 5th card, essentially making it a double. You're then going to pinch with your thumb, use your 4 fingers on the bottom to slide out the duplicate. Going to hear it pop off like that. I like to then move this 4th card upwards, which will then align these first 3 cards with the rest of the deck on the bottom. And I might pull down the top card slightly, but not too much. And now they can touch any card, but not the bottom. Let's say this one. Okay, so actually, I was one step ahead. You're going to make sure that's not pushed out. You're going to touch this one, and you're going to tap it with the rest of the deck, putting the queen on the bottom. And now you're just going to respread and do the same thing as before. Line up the above card with this bottom card, okay? And now you can move everything down and up, okay? So now you're going to call this queen to the bottom, okay? So they're going to be able to push this in. And what you did was move your 2 duplicates to the bottom. I'll go over that one more time because I went a step ahead there. So you're gonna start with the call here. Okay, so they're not gonna suspect anything. They're gonna touch a card. Let's say this one. Make sure it's already in the spread. So then you can take this deckhand, tap, tap, respread. Okay, and you can show the queen. Or you can show the queen and then tap. It doesn't matter. But I like to tap it, then show the queen. You're going to respread, take this card above the bottom card, because this is the queen. You're going to line this up for like a double, okay? You're going to pinch it. You're going to pop this queen out, move these cards to the bottom. You can then call it all the way to the bottom here, okay? And it doesn't really matter, since this is a duplicate, if it's on the bottom or if it switched places with the card on the bottom previously, okay? So hopefully that made sense there. But they push this in, and now the queen's on the bottom. And it doesn't matter if the queen is here on the bottom or if the queen was switched like this. But if you do have your duplicate sign, you're going to want to remember if you place it second from the bottom or on the bottom, because you don't want to cop out the wrong card. So now you're gonna cop out the card, okay? I don't have a video on the cop because I don't use it that often, so I'm not too familiar with it. But if you would like me to make a video on the cop, I will go ahead and do some research and then do that. But here's what I would do for the cop. You're going to catch a break above the bottom card. So you can use your pinky for a pinky count. You can riffle. It doesn't matter. And I have a video on the pinky count as well. So I'm going to leave that down below for you to check out. One more thing you could do is spread the deck and explain. You could have touched any card you wanted. When you get to the bottom, you're going to lift up on the second to bottom card, put your pinky in, and the rest on top. So now watching your angles, here's how you're going to cop out the card. You're going to come over like this. Make sure you don't flash the bottom card here. Okay, so I might have my hand like this. Okay, make sure there's no windows and they don't see that break either. But I might have it like this. 3 fingers on top, index curled. While I'm looking them in the eye, doing some misdirection, I'm going to move the deck back about halfway, okay? And then move the deck forward. And if you actually look in a mirror, you're going to be able to do this right, so you don't flash the bottom card, which they would assume is theirs. You can actually hold the deck like normal, okay, like this, and then you can actually have this cop card. So once again, you're going to have a break, move it back about halfway, and move it forward. And now what you can do is you can either hand it to them now like this, or you can do it all in one action. So a break, back, and then forward, but right when the deck comes off my hand, I curl in my deckhand like this. Gonna hide the comp card, and now the deck is on the bottom. If you hand this deck to them, make sure they don't shuffle it and they don't look at the bottom card. But I can show you a nice out in case they do shuffle the deck. So we're gonna leave this card here, pretend it's comped out. And now, once you ditch this in your pocket, you're gonna do the move. Okay, so you're going to come over and do the whole move just like before. Okay, now I'm not the best because this deck is slippery, but I haven't practiced the move much either. But then that will be their card, and if it's signed, they're really gonna freak out. Because they saw I get pushed somewhere in the middle. But here's one more thing I actually came up with off the top of my head in case they do shuffle the deck. So let's say the card is on the bottom. This is the card you copped out, and let's say you put this in your pocket. I always put the card in my pocket just to end clean. Let's say you hand them the deck, and then before you can even say anything, they start to shuffle it like this. Now, usually when I do these type of tricks, before I hand them the deck, I explain what I want them to do and what not to do. And it's all based on audience management, how well you can manage your audience, okay? So let's say they shuffle it. Well, that's fine. Just what you're going to do now, actually, is you're going to ask them what their card is. And you can go over the whole trick. The deck was shuffled. You could have had any card. and you remembered one. What was your card? The Queen of Hearts. You're going to reach into your pocket, pull out one card, and you can show it's the Queen of Hearts. Now, there's two ways you can clean this up. Now, this was a marked deck, which I found out the green keepers are not marked, which was a disappointment for me, because I thought they were marked. You can go ahead and go through the markings on the top and control the other duplicate to the bottom, in this case, the Queen of Hearts, okay? I might call it to the bottom and then cop it out. Or you can hand this queen over to them. You can look through the deck. Thankfully, it's at the bottom. You can call it right to the bottom, okay, like this. And then I might go ahead and catch a break above the bottom two cards, and then I'll show them the deck and say, here, as you can see, this is really the only Queen of Hearts, just like this, okay? And you can go all the way down to that 5, put it to the bottom and leave it there. But if you have one of those spectators that want to actually examine the deck, you can then go ahead and cop the card like this. Okay, watch this in the mirror. You can show them the deck just like this. You can hand it over and then have this card copped and in your pocket. But that was basically the trick. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to tell me what else you would like to see on the channel. I'm officially on fall break for 1 week, so I want to start posting at least every day if I can. And I want to know what you guys want to see as well. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And before I go, if you watched my last video, you will remember how I talked about the Shin Lim video on my channel. If you're an old time subscriber, you'll remember the Shin Lim double lift video. But you'll remember how I mentioned that was my most viewed video. So after I actually published that video, not the Shin Lim double lift, but the top 5 control video where I talked about the double lift, I went onto my channel and looked up to see how many views the video had. And to my amazement, it had 6,777 views. I couldn't believe it. So that is my most viewed video. So if you would like to see that, I will leave it down below. And I'm thinking about doing something special around the time I upload that video. Around that time frame, I might upload a whole video going over the Shin Lim double lift, Shin Lim tricks, just stuff like that in general. So let me know if that sounds good to you. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna guess the one-handed shuffle. I'm gonna remake that. But if you guys have a different thing in mind, let me know and I will do that. Otherwise, then that's the one-handed shuffle. So I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.